I started this one on the 4th of November, and the theme was Ezekiel chapter 44, 1 to 4. Sometimes it's just because I open the Bible randomly, like bibliomancy, and then work from there. And sometimes I've got a thought in mind, so I use that particular chapter because it was a week ago. I have no idea which of those it was. But what I kind of see is like lots of sort of spirals from which sort of the different branches come off. So it reminds me a bit of the nervous system, also trees, but also the idea of like the Milky Way galaxy being a spiral, and also DNA to some extent. It's mostly a mixture of greens and blues in there, but the spirals themselves are kind of like a browny, reddy colour. So I guess that could relate to this idea of either blood. I was also making me think of chocolate, but I don't know if that's just because I've had some for my birthday this morning. A tiny bit of white and silver in there as well. And almost like within each of the spiral areas, there's like a different creature. The text of Ezekiel 44 refers to a gate that was closed. I think it specifically referenced the North Gate, and that he was brought back in via the North Gate as well. And that references a prince. Only the prince shall enter via the North Gate, where he will sit and eat bread. But if you've been paying attention, I've talked before about linking this reference to bread and the bread bun symbolism within Egyptian hieroglyphics, which was for tea, which is the feminine. I'm not going to talk about what he might be eating there. So I mentioned there were some creatures inside some of those spirals. So there's this bird here. I'm not entirely sure what type of bird that is. I do get a bit bored of saying that. I just feel like I say, I don't know what this is all the time. But it looks nice. And then there's this other angry looking bird, looks very moody, which is sort of to the slightly below the other bird in the image, so coming out of a slightly different spiral. I can relate to this one. And then one of the other spirals is this creature, which I think looks a bit like a beaver, a sleeping beaver perhaps, but sort of on his head he's got letters, which I think looks like either A2 or like a triangle. Maybe is that alpha? Actually, it could even be alpha and omega, couldn't it? That could be the loop for omega. And then if I turn the image around a bit to see what's in the other sort of spiral arm, is this other sleeping creature, which I think looks a bit like a lizard. So that would be, I think, a reference to Newt. I think the reference earlier to Northgate is possibly a reference to Polaris and like the North Star. But I don't know, it's just a picture, right? Thanks for listening, and please like and subscribe.